White patron asks black family to leave restaurant over laughing baby's joyful screams. V, a mother of 4 from McDonough, Georgia, enjoyed lunch with her young children at Paris Bon Ami, a cafe she frequents weekly. During her visit, a now famous video captures her 8-month-old daughter, who joyfully squeals in her high chair. What seemed like an innocent family moment quickly turned into an unexpected confrontation. A white male patron sitting nearby grew irritated by the baby's laughter and told V to quiet her child. He went further, insisting that she should leave the restaurant with her baby because the sound disturbed his sensitive ears. V, responding to the man's complaint, calmly remarked, "I know it's loud. But he's an adult. He can leave, but chooses not to." She then firmly asserted, "You can remove yourself from this restaurant." Her words, caught on video, spread quickly across social media. Despite the man's repeated insistence that she silence her baby or take her out of the cafe, V stood her ground. She emphasized that while a baby may be noisy, it is unfair and unrealistic to expect complete silence from an infant. The short clip gained traction, generating 1.3 million views in just a few days. The confrontation ignited passionate discussions about societal expectations of parents. Viewers expressed mixed reactions, with many supporting V and denouncing the patron's demands. For supporters, her calm but firm response symbolized a parent's right to defend their child's joy and resist unreasonable criticism in public spaces. Others, however, believed the situation was an opportunity for V's children to learn public etiquette. These commenters argued that restaurants are shared spaces, and parents should do more to minimize disruptions. The split in opinions fueled even more debate online. In subsequent clips, V defended her stance, pointing out the unrealistic expectations often placed upon mothers. She explained that children cannot always be controlled, and families deserve the same right as anyone else to enjoy a meal in public. Her comments resonated with many parents who shared similar experiences of being judged when their kids expressed themselves in public spaces. The viral moment has since grown beyond one cafe in Georgia, becoming part of a larger conversation about inclusivity, tolerance, and the biases mothers face, especially black mothers, when raising their children under the watchful eyes of strangers. What set this video apart was not only the confrontation itself but the nature of the noise. V's daughter wasn't crying or throwing a tantrum, she was laughing, a happy sound that most would view as harmless. Yet that joy was still treated by a stranger as something offensive enough to demand removal. Supporters online argued that if society cannot accept a baby's laughter, then it says more about our collective lack of empathy than about parenting. The clash highlighted how quickly small, everyday moments can escalate when expectations collide. For some, restaurants should be strictly orderly and quiet. For others, they are part of community life, where families belong just as much as anyone else. Mothers across social media shared how the story resonated with them. Many recalled being stared at when their babies cried in grocery stores, restaurants, or airplanes. Some admitted to avoiding dining out altogether because of the fear of judgment. V's refusal to apologize became a rallying point for parents who feel they must constantly defend themselves. Parenting experts also weighed in, noting that children learn how to behave in public by being in public. Shielding them from these experiences, or expecting perfection, only delays that process. They pointed out that teaching etiquette doesn't mean silencing joy, it means guiding children as they gradually learn boundaries. The incident also carried clear racial undertones. For many viewers, the optics of a white man demanding that a black family leave a restaurant struck a deeper chord. Black mothers have long described feeling hyper-visible and unfairly judged in public spaces, with even minor disruptions treated as major offenses. Civil rights advocates saw V's stance as part of a larger pattern of resisting unnecessary policing of black families. They argued that incidents like this cannot be separated from history, where black voices, presence, and joy have too often been suppressed or deemed unacceptable in shared spaces. Online debate split into camps. On one side were those who believed the man was unreasonable, and that V was right to stand her ground. They applauded her composure, framing her response as a defense of children's right to exist freely. On the other side were those who sympathized with the man's frustration, arguing that noise, even joyful noise, can still disrupt others' dining experiences. This divide reflected broader questions about what kind of society we want to build. Do we design public spaces around adult comfort, or do we accept that community spaces should include families, children, and all the unpredictability they bring? Social media amplified this story far beyond the café. Clips of the encounter spread across TikTok, Instagram, and X, each platform hosting its own debate. Parents weighed in with personal stories, young people discussed the generational gap in tolerance, and activists highlighted the racial dynamics. The viral spread also gave V a platform to speak directly. In follow-up posts, she doubled down on her belief that she and her children had every right to be there. She framed the incident as a learning moment for society. Children are a part of this world too, she said, reminding viewers that family life is not something to be hidden. The incident raises ongoing questions about how public life balances individual comfort with inclusivity. Should restaurants adopt policies making them more family-friendly? Should communities cultivate more tolerance for natural child behavior? And how do biases, both racial and cultural, shape the way we interpret situations like this one? V's experience serves as a case study in these questions. What some viewed as simple etiquette became, for others, a debate about fairness, race, and empathy. What began as a mother enjoying lunch with her children turned into a national conversation about parenting, race, and the right to exist in public without judgment. V's baby's laughter, something pure and joyful, was treated as a nuisance by one man, but celebrated by millions who saw her video online. Her refusal to back down reminded parents everywhere that they are not alone in facing criticism. And it reminded society of a simple truth: joy, even when loud, deserves space. For V, the confrontation was just one moment in her week. For the rest of us, it was a reflection of the kind of empathy, tolerance, and understanding we still need to